In this video, I'd like to look back at the advice Adrian gave you in the second workshop about tackling question 1. You will recall that it's worth 4 marks and you shouldn't spend more than 5 minutes on this question. It's meant to be a relatively easy question to get you started in the exam, but you need to be careful in tackling this question. The question asks you to identify and interpret information, and it will ask you to look at a particular section in source A, and you'll be asked to indicate 4 statements that are true about that particular passage. You do that by shading circles against each statement that you think is true, and choose a maximum of 4 statements. If you make a mistake, cross out the whole box, and if you change your mind and choose a statement that you've crossed out, then draw a circle around that particular box. It's only worth 4 marks, so don't spend too long on this particular question. Having said that, you need to be careful about choosing your 4 statements. These are the 8 statements that Adrian looked at in the workshop, and you will recall, I'm sure, that the 4 correct ones were A, D, F and H. Adrian also prompted you, though, to think carefully about why those statements are either true or false. Some are quite easy to identify, but some take a little bit more time to establish. Statement A, the morning was not warm. Well, that's true because actually we were told it was a cold, damp morning, so we can infer from that statement that it was cold and damp, that it wasn't warm. So this particular question isn't just about identifying quickly the facts that are in the passage. You have to think carefully about the information and interpret that information. The other statements that are true were D, Sheep Meadow was in a park. Actually, you're told it was in Central Park. We're told that the abbreviation for mobilisation was MOB, and we're told in the very first line of the article that Maurice is actually writing about events in the spring. The other statements that are wrong, we're actually told Maurice was a junior in high school, so from that information we know that it's incorrect to say that he was a senior. In a similar way, we know Maurice, we're told actually that he was from Eastern Connecticut. We're told that the girls wore skirts to just below the knee, so we can infer from that that they didn't wear short skirts. And we're actually told that tie-dyeing t-shirts at that time was not a well-known concept. So you need to identify 4 true statements, having read the section that you are asked to read. And you have to decide, first of all, whether you're being asked to identify true or false statements, of course. Shade in 4 circles. And if you're not sure and you begin to run out of time, don't miss any out. If you haven't shaded 4, guess. This particular question is marked electronically, so if you do run out of time, just guess, but do make sure that you've indicated 4 answers, because each one is worth 1 mark. But as Adrian explained, a couple of the statements may not be obvious, so you need to kind of think carefully about the information that's presented to you in the passage. So that's a quick look back at question 1. It's worth 4 marks, and you should take 5 minutes over that question.